Thank you for joining us for the 2025 Twin Cities Film Fest, brought to you by Stearns Bank. I'm Miss Shannan Paul, joining you from the red carpet here at the Mann Theater in Edina, Minnesota, and excited to go ahead and head into our screening of Westhampton, our Midwest premiere, I believe. So thank you for joining us. So, of course, to get us started, we are honored to have on our red carpet Christian Nilsson, our director and writer, and RJ Mitte, one of our primary cast members in it. So we're going to start with you, Christian. So, Christian, I know that you are really good at keeping us on that tightrope of is this weird enough? And I think that is one of my favorite things about Westhampton, is that it's clearly a movie within a movie. It's clearly has a direction of its own. But what can you tell us about the film that's not giving it away to everybody?
You know, it's a really personal film that we've been working on really for years and years at this point. We actually started shooting this 2 years ago today. Right. So it feels serendipitous to be here with you all. Yeah, it's a film about forgiveness, about atonement, and how those are really ideas that we're not always lucky enough that others bestow on us. We have to earn them ourselves. And that's the journey that our main character, Tom Bell, played by Finn Wittrock, that he is on, is trying to figure out and navigate self-atonement in a way that is commercial and you should go check out.
And if my research is correct, so you grew up in Westhampton or nearby, but you fictionalized most of the things around it. But what's it like showcasing a town that you grew up in that's probably very different from you're living in it and growing up in it versus people who visit it?
Yeah, well, growing up in the Hamptons, there's definitely a sense of reality versus expectations. And when I tell people I grew up in the Hamptons, there's an image that they put in their head of what that looks like. But where in reality, it really is much more of a working class town, especially in the off season. It's like it really becomes something of a ghost town. And so we wanted to tell a story that really played with that dichotomy and that played with that idea of reality versus expectations. There was a very close friend of mine that died in a car accident when I was in high school, and the idea of how does the person responsible for that accident move forward with their own life when they're not able to earn that forgiveness from those individuals impacted, that this is something that they have to wear for the rest of their lives. And that felt like an appropriate vessel for that broader theme. And so that's really the journey that Tom is on over the course of this film.
Well, we also get the chance to talk to you, and I know that many people, RJ, are familiar with you and they watched you grow up on Breaking Bad, but this is a completely different vibe for you. But it also seems like a pretty different vibe from a lot of the characters that you've played. So what are you most excited about with this character and how you got to portray him?
I was a happy character.
Yes.
I was a very happy character. Most of my characters are usually brooding.
Yes.
Very kind of dark themed in like the trials that they're facing and the sacrifices that they have to make. And I play a character who really is this kind of like happy-go-lucky guy, right, who's actually excited to see this character that Finn Wittrock plays. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of probably the only happy person to see him from beginning to end. Right. And being able to kind of push, we all need a rock in life. Right. You know, we all, sometimes we find the rock within inside ourselves, and then sometimes we find that rock within others. And I feel I play a character who kind of helps and always finds Tom in his worst moments coming home. Right. That kind of is like, hey, let's pivot. You're Tom Bell, and kind of helps him move forward and when everyone doesn't like him. Right. And you know, in life we all make decisions, and our decisions have impact on others. Right. And we don't see those impacts. And with this movie, Tom, Finn Wittrock's character, sees his impact. Right. And sees that it still carries with him over a decade later. And you know, I think it's a great eye-opener. I think there's a lot to take from this film, and I had a blast working with this man.
Fabulous. And RJ, just another point, just from a personal standpoint, you know, I'm a mother of a son that has a disability, so I really appreciate everything that you do on the advocacy side of things. I just think you're a wonderful human being. But
Depends on the day.
Well, that's fair enough. I only know you on the good days. So far.
So far.
That's all right. I'll save the rest for everybody else. But I really appreciate all the advocacy that you do in the industry and in general. So what about that do you bring to your roles and try to showcase for everybody out there?
Well, what's unique about this role is this is the only role I've ever done in my career that didn't have a disability written into it.
Okay.
Like this is actually my only role that there wasn't a focal point with disability. I'm a firm believer. Look, I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy. I've had it my whole life. I know nothing more or less on what people are versus having what I have. And for me, I believe I have a strong advocacy role with a show like Breaking Bad.
Right.
That I have an obligation, and I say that in the best way possible because obligations don't sound pretty.
Right.
But I personally believe that I am in a position and I have this obligation to maintain and to show what disability is like, and that no matter what you are facing in life, no matter physical, mental, or otherwise, that you can achieve a goal. Right. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you want to succeed, and by showing that, by continuing to work and continuing to do my best to put positive reinforcement out there.
Right. Well, thank you, RJ. And before we wrap up, I just want to come back to Christian because you, of course, are familiar with working with ensemble cast and making, I'll just say it, caviar out of catfish, in the independent film world. But what was it like, and what surprised you most as you were working on Westhampton?
It's a film inspired by the community I grew up in. Like you had mentioned, I grew up in the town just outside of Westhampton, but went to Westhampton Beach High School. When we were making this film, we felt the community's presence throughout production. There was one day of production where we had to put together a parade, and we had this logistical constraint of we had to block the other side of the street because we couldn't give off our hand of that there wasn't an audience over there. And so someone said, we need a fire truck. I was like, well, how do we get a fire truck? We're filming in 17 hours. And then within maybe 5 hours of that, the Westhampton Beach Fire Department invited myself and all of our production heads, and they were like, which fire truck would you like? And I felt like a little kid. I was like, I want that big red one. And but it was a testament to how much the community supported what we were doing. When we were on set, RJ would have a crowd around him. We joked that he was the mayor of Westhampton.
I was going to run for a second. It was election season.
Yeah, it was,
I think I had a chance.
Yeah.
You're like, I had my buttons printed. It was ready.
Yeah, and so to create a film about my town and to have the town embrace it the way that they did was really incredible. And if nothing else, that will be the thing I will take away from this experience, is just feeling that sense of community from everybody involved.
Well, for everyone who's not with us here tonight, we want to give them an opportunity to make sure that they support you and support the film. And RJ, it looks like you're really blowing up in 2025 and 2026. So let us know what we can look for in your career, and then we want to know how we can follow the film and make sure that it blows up as well.
Yeah, first and foremost, check out Westhampton.
Yes.
Directed, created by Christian Nilsson. I have a couple other projects coming out, hopefully in the next 6 months to a year. I've been doing a lot of philanthropy work. I actually just worked this morning with Can Do Canines.
Yes,
and so got to learn a lot about that. Really excited to help them with their capital campaign and help grow with the their Give Day that's coming up soon in November. Philanthropy to me is everything. And the definition, I don't think people realize, the definition of philanthropy is a love for humanity. And I love humanity. I love every aspect of what we are as a people, as a community, the good, the bad, and the otherwise. Without having the bad, we cannot understand the greatness of good. And I have some great, exciting projects that you could probably follow me on social media for. But definitely hoping to work with this guy in the next coming years. And so keep an eye out.
And tell us how to best support Westhampton, Christian.
I mean, independent film is it's struggling at the moment, and so if this is a film that you connect with, that you enjoy, I would invite you first to come check it out.
Follow RJ Mitte. That's hot now.
Follow RJ Mitte at RJ Mitte. But I would also say that if you respond to this film, give us a review on Letterboxd. Like let people know, spread the word. Films like this only are successful because of a grassroots effort. It's events like this. It's a community like this that allows these things to be successful. And so I would say if you connect with a story, be vocal about it and spread the word. And if you don't connect with it, keep your mouth shut.
They'll connect with it. They'll connect with it. If we got to do something, a little nudging, we're going to tell them that. So thank you both. We're excited to get you upstairs for this Midwest premiere of Westhampton. Also want to remind everybody they can find out about everything that's going on at the Twin Cities Film Fest. Are over 130 movies that you can see in person and streaming by going to our website, twincitiesfilmfest.org. And you can also find out about all the great programming that we're doing throughout the year. So make sure you check out our website. We're excited to see you upstairs, everybody. And thank you for all of you for joining us. You appreciate you being part of the 2025 Twin Cities Film Fest, brought to you by Stearns Bank. We'll see you back here on the red carpet soon.